Good morning. Was a long night. Couple hours sleep. I look a little raggedy. But first, thank you folks for coming on in. Anybody that's going to come on this video, you saw the video I posted last night when I was in the parking lot outside of Batavia Downs, and crazy night. Completely crazy night. And we're going to go over a couple things about this Batavia Downs, which is insanity. Jets 15. And let me just give you a brief run through. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the smoking room smoking, hitting the machines, couple friends around, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden you hear the Batavia Downs Casino is closing. Batavia Downs Casino is closing. Please use the exits. It's like there's 2 more hours. What the hell's going on? 2 more hours. Hey, Leon, top of the morning to you. So, get up. Everybody's going out either the front door or the side door. So I'm going out the front door, up the ramp, and the entrance, when you come through the main entrance, there's police around and emergency people or whatever. And deputy sheriff is down and they're giving him CPR. I want to throw up. I walk out to my car and chaos. I come back with my phone and I stand across the street and I just film from the outside, and I did a video last night with all the emergency personnel there and everything. And then later on, his family come running in there hours later. And there was another altercation out front. And then they saw me with my phone, and the guy, I seen him point over to me, and he was going to probably call. So I just stopped right there. I don't want no trouble. Their loved one just got murdered. He's still on the floor. And I said, let me get out of there. I put a video up last night. Watch that video last night, David BMX. So, first thing, they had a concert last night. Let's unpack this Batavia Downs, which I did other videos on Facebook and maybe YouTube, being very, very concrete in what I was talking about. That was about other stuff. They're security guards, Batavia Downs security guards. There's not one male, I believe. I may be wrong, but for what I've been seeing, I can see at least. Nah, he passed away. Yeah, they had the guy. They caught the guy a couple. They're 75 and frail, or older and overweight, or petite women. This is your line of defense in case something happens. If somebody just decides to grab you and bash your face in, there's not going to be anybody there to rescue you. And on a concert night, and people are drinking, people are rocking and rolling, of course, fights can break out. What is it? Batavia Downs doesn't want to pay strong, athletic, 6'2", 240. What, they can't afford security? Because half the time, the security is just doing nothing. So I don't understand. The guy is being combative with somebody. The guy is with his wife. They stopped serving him at the bar. So they're trying to get him out the door, allegedly. And in the front entrance, they got him as far as the front entrance, maybe 20 feet from the door. And that's where the incident occurred. So the security there couldn't get him out. The security there, on-site security, couldn't get the guy out the door because they're physically unable to. All 5 or 6 of them wouldn't be able to physically. So they call the sheriff's department that's a mile down the street, and this deputy comes in to try to get this thing situated. And I don't know how he was able to overtake the officer. Did he punch him, knock him out, and then did he sucker punch the officer and knock him out and just gain an advantage and choke him? But if that's the case, what were these security people doing? Like, just 5 of you jump on them and pound them, even if you're like old ladies. 5 old ladies could get, what? I don't understand. But I was walking when they told everybody the casino's closed, everybody leave. And they had like 10 deputies around him on that right there near the front entrance. And they were performing CPR on him. I wanted to throw up. Yeah. I wanted to throw up. Good morning, Grambino, Jets, David BMX, Michael Candinas. So, what is this on a Saturday night? There's not a 30-year-old security guard, I believe. 6'2", there could be possible bar fights, especially when there's a casino. The place is full, max capacity. And I used to tell my buddies when I'd see these security guards running around, I'd say, who are they gonna scare if something ever goes down in here? Yeah. Who are they gonna scare? Most of them are over 70, elderly men, or women security that are petite or out of shape. What's going on? I mean, so like, if you get in a fight with somebody and there's a bully or something going around and he's pulverizing you on the floor, what's the security gonna do? They got a security in there. She's 5'1", 80 pounds. Where are they going? They don't want what? They don't want to pay a fair wage. They can't keep chefs in the kitchen because sometimes the restaurant's closed. To what? Work shortage, employee shortage. Why? Put $45 an hour up there. You're making millions of dollars. Put $45 an hour up there and get some quality chefs. Put $40 an hour for security guards and you'll get some quality people. They mail it in and something like this happened. Good morning, James McCarthy. I wanted to throw up. I'm exiting, and it's right near the front entrance, and they're performing CPR for an hour. He never got up. God rest his soul. There'll be a lawsuit because that's negligent. You can foresee, that's foreseeable, Yeah. The Jets says after a couple issues at Del Lago, now the security looks like an NFL front line. It shouldn't take like these types of things to go wrong for the right people to put in place. But that's this Batavia Downs. That mails everything in. And if there's an incident like that, security can't handle it. Whatever, 6, 7, there's 8 security. What were they doing? Standing there going, oh no, get off of him. What happened? Then the deputy comes, God rest his soul, and how'd the guy get this advantage on him? How'd he get an advantage on him? What was the cause of death? Did he sucker punch him and then just choke him out and nobody helped him? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Hey, Philly Bob. Yeah. And I was videoing from across the street, and then the poor guy's family came. They rushed in there all crazily. And then one came out. Then he pointed to me over, and he was going to try to cross the street, and I didn't want nothing to do with, I have a right to videotape. I have a right to, but it wasn't good. I turned around, said good night, everybody, and I stopped and I went to my car. And that was a relative, and I know who the guy is. I don't know if the name's been released to the public yet, but I know who he is. A local guy, good guy. But it was a husband and wife. It was a husband and wife that were being combative. Security couldn't get him out of there. They call the sheriff. That's the sheriff station's a mile down the street. And this poor deputy comes in there and loses his life. So when there's a court, when the lawsuit comes, and they're going to say, what is the line of defense that you give your people, Batavia Downs, on a Saturday night, concert night, where there's thousands of people, the bar's filled to capacity? Yeah, the Batavia Downs, they allegedly, I just use allegedly, but you guys know, for stealing the bartender wages and sexual harassment. It's a rodent joint. They're making millions and millions of dollars. They're trying to grab everything. They can't eat. They want to skim on chefs and cooks, and the restaurants closed. And then they want to skim on security guards on a Saturday night, prime time, where chances are that there's going to be some physical confrontations, drinking, concert. And if you can't foresee some physical altercations happening, and you don't, and if you do foresee physical altercations happening, and you got security that is incompetent in any type of physical, why couldn't 6 of them jump on the guy? Were they going, oh no, get off him? Oh no, what? Because maybe not one of them's physically fit. Maybe they're not physically fit. You got a security. She's 5'1", 70 pounds. He could be choking the guy, and she's gonna be it's a joke. It's a complete joke. It's just a joke. Offer a fair wage to get some physical people in there for these events. There must be 10 security guards in there. They got to call for a sheriff down the street. They got to call a deputy sheriff down the street because they can't handle their business with these security guards they got in there. Because all they do is sit around and just wait for the day to go by. And they use them same ones on the concert days, prime time, place jam-packed, people drunk running around all over the place. I don't know if there was one male security guard in the joint, 30 years old, 6'1", 220, physically fit. On a Saturday night, concert night, prime time, place is whack. Completely whack. Oh, they can't? Can they afford it? Good morning, Francis. Yeah. If the restaurant's closed, maybe patrons drinking more than if it were open. No, that's an ongoing thing. That's hit or miss the restaurant. People are rocking and rolling there on a Saturday night, getting cocked out of their brains. Concert night. It's foreseeable, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. So if you can't foresee that, that's negligence. That's negligence. I gotta sit there. If I get accosted, I could just get my brains pounded out. And then what I gotta have some little girl, 5'1", 80 pounds, say, what? If there's a big bruiser pounding me out, is that the line of defense when people are running around drunk, acting crazy, screaming in your ears, hooting and hollering, and I'm a senior citizen, they're senior citizens. Well, who's gonna save us? No, Tara. No. So it's a terrible tragedy. Terrible. Terrible. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. There's no minimizing to say, well, no, there's not. It's gross negligence. It's gross negligence. They don't want to pay a fair wage. Even on these concert nights, just outsource some people that in case something happens, that you got 2 or 3 linebackers in there. You got 2 or 3 linebackers just in case. The bar's maxed to capacity. People are drunk all over the place. They're drinking like fish. Have some linebackers in there. Is that such a far-fetched concept? It should be the norm. That's why it's gross negligence. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, they should sue for 50 million. They should sue for 100 million. Add that onto the other lawsuits against Batavia Downs. Add that one to the list. They were Tara, the couple was being combative because they got shut off. They were cocked and then they got shut off and they were being combative and the security couldn't get them out of there. This physically unable security staff that's either elderly men out of shape, of course. I mean, elderly men and other physical women security, 5'1", 80 pounds, 5'4", 210 pounds. Who are they going to scare when something like this happens? I don't know the particulars, but wouldn't you think they could have jumped on the guy or something? I don't know the particular. Like, how does it come to be that the deputy comes and then all of a sudden the guy sucker punched him? I don't know. Was he being combative? And the deputy was saying, you got to leave, you got to leave. And then the guy just sucker punches him and knocks him out and then chokes him out. I don't know. Hey, Mauricio. But how do they not have a physically fit, even a physically fit woman? There's strong women too. I'm not chauvinistic. There's strong women that at least can get a guy from stopping the, taking complete control over somebody, at least kick him in the teeth or something. If he's down there, kick him in the, I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. And if you're a guy, now there's patrons playing the slot machines 5 feet away. There's patrons playing the slot machines 5 feet away. Wouldn't you think there would be a guy, a patron that's watching that and just go in? And then maybe the deputy could regain his bearings. The deputy obviously didn't have a chance to tase him, or it doesn't make sense. I don't know. But what we do know is the physical capabilities of those security guards that are in there is laughable. That's the patron's line of defense. If there's anything that goes down in there, and you can't get a 6'1", 6'2", 5'10", 5'11" guy to come in and handle things, what about when two guys are fighting at the bar? Who's going to break them up? What? I'm sure there's police officers or people that are physically fit and able that would go there on a Saturday. Even plainclothes cops. Wasn't there any plainclothes detectives there? It's a madhouse on a Saturday concert night. What, they might have to pay a guy $200? Batavia Downs, you might have to pay a guy $200 to keep an eye on things if something happens. Batavia Downs, you might have to pay a guy some extra money out of that $85 million you made last quarter. Wait till you see what this lawsuit is going to look like. And you know what you know what the family's going to do? You know what the lawyer's going to do? They're going to put every one of those security guards on the stand, and the jury is going to look and eye them up and down, and look and say, this is a security guard? This is a security guard to keep the patrons secure and safe? This is your line of defense? Then they're going to bring the next security guard up, and the jury's going to go, look, it's getting worse with every guard. They'll probably settle out of court. They will probably settle out of court because they don't want that in the news every day. Like day 15 of the trial, day whatever, they don't. They better start writing the check. They better write the check. It's completely crazy. Crazy. They don't have enough, huh? Yeah. And I sit there. Yeah, I couldn't sleep. I was watching them perform CPR on them. I wanted to throw up. I didn't get to bed till 6 a.m. Crazy. Yeah, and they run them commercials. They run them commercials on TV around the clock. Yeah. They run those commercials. So much stuff goes on from the top down. It's insane. But that's just going to show the people, wow, I could go in there, get subdued, and I can't get rescued. A security guard can't save me if something happens. A lot of senior citizens, excuse me, a lot of senior citizens in there. Well, I can't get rescued if there's something happening or what? They got to call the sheriff a mile down the road to come in because their security staff, their whole security staff as a whole, couldn't subdue the situation. I don't know, man. Terrible that a sheriff, 55-year-old sheriff, had to get killed there. Terrible. Completely terrible. That's the security. So they could pay security guards minimum wage, and that's what they attract. You get what you pay for. But at least on high traffic times, concert nights, people, max capacity, drinking like fish, wouldn't you say, well, we got to beef up our staff on this said night? Well, wouldn't that come into play? What did they beef it up with? 4 more 70-year-old guards? The place is whack, man. I guess they don't have. I guess they can't afford. I guess they can't put that in their budget. Let's see. You couldn't get on a slot machine last night. Every machine is played max capacity. People at the bar, elbow to elbow. It's jammed up in there. Who the money they took in last night got to be one of their big nights of the year. They don't want to pay for adequate, capable guards or outsource for those nights and put 4 other guys on the staff for that night. On a big night where they're making hundreds of thousands for that said night. Wow. Terra Casino probably has a rule: security guards can't put their hands on people. Yeah, there's a rule, but there's also exceptions to the rule. If a guy's getting murdered before their very eyes, so, well, if that's a constant all the time, yesterday, today, and tomorrow rule, then I guess we're not safe in there. We're going to have to wait for police to get called and arrive, I guess, in these places then. Yeah, you just got to wait. While you're getting your face pounded in, you got to wait. And they're standing around. Oh, get off him. Oh, dude. Oh, geez. Really? There was a crime taking place, Tara. There was a crime taking place. Murder. There's verbal altercations that go on all the time, and they ask the patron to leave. They can't touch them. But this is apples and oranges. It's life or death. Listen, Sally, it looks bad, but we can't jump in. If they did, they couldn't do anything. They'd be like a fly on the guy. Even if they could do something, they were physically incapable anyways. But even if there was linebacker security guards, hey, Jim, yeah, that's terrible. He's choking the guy out or whatever, taking complete control over it. But yeah, we can't touch him. Yeah, well, yeah, I'll pray for him. Casinos, man. Yeah. Yeah, Tara, it probably happens like so fast, and boom, 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 got down. People are and boom, boom, and he's out, and that's just boom, 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 shock. But trained people, trained security guards that might take a 3-hour course, and here. What's the qualifications for a security guard at Pavia Downs? Look it up. I think all you need to be doing is breathing air. I think if you're breathing air, you're hired. The poor guy. Terrible. Well, life is precious. Life is precious. God bless that poor guy. God bless his family. You go to work on a night, and he's 55 years old working. How come there ain't young sheriff deputies on staff? What's going on with this world? Why is everything backwards? He's 55 years old, working the night shift. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't understand. I don't understand how at each step there's something skewed. It's hi, Joe Ruffino. Like at every aspect, and when you just dissect and unpack is just kind of thing, at every station, it's just something skewed. Why was this like this? Why was this like this? Why was this like this? It doesn't make sense. Everything's backwards in this New York State. And I don't want to get political, but there should have been linebacker securities and plainclothes detectives in there. You could get, there's senior citizen ladies with their purses. There could be pickpocketing or whatever. They mail it in. You're at the mercy. You patrons are at the mercy of whatever goes down. If somebody takes you over, you're going to have to wait for an officer to come and help you out. That's the thanks you get for going bankrupt and at that casino and losing all your money. That's the thanks. That's how much money and effort and thought they put in to protecting their patrons that are committing suicide, probably going bankrupt, domestic disputes, ill of society. They don't care. They don't care. Can you at least protect them? The news hasn't even put out the story. It's almost 11 o'clock. You think there'd be headlines? Not yet. I mean, maybe during this video, but deputy had to lose his life. It's so terrible. Terrible. Gosh. 55 years old, working a night shift. Well, how come there ain't 30-year-old officers on staff? What's going on? Of course, I don't know the particulars of how that couple. Hey, Joe, I just don't know the particulars of how this officer ended up on the floor. How? Somehow this couple, this drunk couple, allegedly drunk couple, were being combative, and somehow the man took over the deputy to the point where he died. Oh, man. Weren't there security guards on his back trying to get him off? Even if you're an old man or a petite girl, security guard, can't you still interfere a little? And there wasn't a patron that came to his rescue. I can't unwrap it logically. Wow. No, James. I don't know. He wasn't armed. No, it's hand to hand, I reckon. I just don't know the details of, how was there a punch? The guy got knocked out. I mean, my only way to think is, or did the officer have a heart attack during it? Or he got knocked out and the guy just, I don't know. Wow. I don't know. It's terrible. So I pray for the family, and you just get mad and frustrated that, this multi-million-dollar entity can't even forecast that far in the future for these types of things that happen at these venues when there's concerts and people drinking. It's terrible. So that's it for today, folks. Stay strong, be the kings and queens of your world, and stay safe. And I'll get back to you tomorrow or Tuesday. Hit the like button if you will, and I appreciate your support. Thank you, and God bless.